and we do not have to agree on the same opinion. So we want to conclude our today's discussion. Although we argued a lot, we remind ourselves all the time we are Kenyans, and that is a fact, and that we got to do what we can to make our Kenya better. So I want us to take just 1 minute to present a remark, or maybe just leave a word to Kenyans, something positive or anything you'd like to say. Just 1 minute. Sasa nataka kuanza na Mise, ndio yeye ajaongea sana. Mise, tunakuomba utoe maoni yako ya mwisho, dakika moja tafadhali, si presentation, dakika moja.
Lakini unajua hujanipa wakati nizungumze vile wengine wamezungumza, lakini aswa
you spoke a lot and you fought with Martin, with Deto a lot. No, so Martin, now just close, final word of close.
Ningependa kusema kwanza Stone PK, I think leo umetudanganya sana. Umesema kwamba the basic tenets of life, you used that the current government has not observed the basic tenets of life. And I wanted to disapprove you that the president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, is well known with generosity. His generosity is all over. Whereas when you compare him with Raila Amolo Odinga, who is known with stinginess, who does not contribute and give his money to the public. But William Samoei Ruto has been known and even was labeled Tanga Tanga and Nabi because of the money that he has given to the people who are in need. And I can tell you that for sure he has met the threshold of the basic tenets of life, as you mentioned, and otherwise. And I also wanted to say that, Julia, this government is committed, and Mzalendo is very right. It is the responsibility when the former president handed over the leadership to the current president, whether it is going to continue with his projects or not. It is within the mandate of the president to see the order of priority of the projects that he would like to roll out. And I wanted to correct my friend Martin Ndeto, who ran away, because he knows that Kazi Mtaani was actually very limiting to very few people and did not require any skills. But what the president has suggested to begin with in terms of housing, of making sure that they have given units of 5,000 units of housing, that is a lot. It's going to touch on engineers, architectures, structural engineers, design engineers, welders, those mama mboga, kuuza chakula pale, and everybody will benefit from this massive project. And so more jobs will be created through these projects that he has suggested. And so to say that Kazi Mtaani is more realistic and more appealing than the jobs that the president has suggested, I think is misleading. Kuokota takataka mtaani, this is something that you will come to realize that maybe the few counties that you traversed, you might have seen the PR. You didn't go to the village to see that some of the villages did not benefit from that. So I just want to say that as we come here, as we are determined to be an oversight through a bottom-up approach to the current government, I think it is important that we are clear and objective as opposed to being subjective. When we are being subjective, we become more biased and we lose the bigger picture. The bigger picture here is our country. And with the Stone PK, we don't care how radical you are, how any other radical person is. And this country is not about individuals. This country is about the interest of all Kenyans cumulative. And it is not that this country will be liberated through the Azimio, but who has the good intentions of our country to bring about unemployment rates down, to bring about to eliminate insecurity, the health care of our people. That is the person that we will support, and we shall not be cowed by the mass calling of the mass to intervene in order to get to the government through proxy doors. We are determined to make sure that we will work. The projects that have been suggested will be rolled out, and in due time, in due course, it will come to pass that the president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, will be proven, will go down in history as the president who had the best interests of the Kenyan people. And lastly, I see people asking for the website. Maybe Julia, you can pin jmlaw.ca, jmlaw.ca, that www.jmlaw.ca. That's the website. And I think there's also someone who asked how long we take to respond. If you send in your,
Can you type it? Can you type it on the comment section?
it's just JMLaw, J as in Julia, M as in Mike, and law, L as in Lima, A as in Alpha,
Law.
jmlaw.ca. So that is what we are saying. What we are saying is that we should have a tone that, Julia, you need to put www.jmlaw.ca. So we need to have a tone that is uniting, and we need to come together with a unit of purpose, unite, not because we like certain individuals, but because we love our country. Our country cannot be united, or we cannot exhibit patriotism when we are instilling fear and toxicity to our citizens. Thank you very much.
Asante Mise. I think I got Muzalendo. I don't know who came first. Okay, Muzalendo, your closing remarks. Muzalendo, ama umelala. Muzalendo.
He's driving.
Okay, he's driving. Okay. Ndeto.
Me, I'll just tell Kenyans, Julia, this year I don't want to. I think today I ran away from my from what I've decided to do this year. I will not come here to. When I come to the show, I will not come here to answer and talk to people who don't have their country in their heart. What I will do the best that I can to have a good conversation and to be patriotic about my country. For those who think that what we say here is not right, I would really appreciate if you keep your opinion to yourself and not bring me into it. Because we know what this country, even though I'm not there, but I've been there. And I'm going there again and again and again, and I'll be there. I will be there to be patriotic about my country and to say the truth that is supposed to be the truth. And the truth is that our country is not being led the right way. But the one thing I'm very happy about our country is that we are more united than I've ever seen in my whole life. We have all the tribes. Says you see at 42 against G3 against what? And I have seen it by the lack of God and the blessings of God to bring me to this show and to meet people in this show and other shows, and also communications that I have on the side. I am happy to see all tribes, of our country, putting their tribal wars away and actually having a conversation and being together. There's not one tribe that I've seen, other than other days that you used to feel like this other tribe was not part of Kenya. I believe we are all Kenyans. I know we are all Kenyans. I look at all tribes the same, and I believe we will be fine. The only problem we have is the mindset capture of a few personalities that really will not, regardless what you do, a cult is the same thing we had even here where I live, the MAGA, and that's what is called KKA. The MAGA, that cult is the same thing that is happening with our friends in Kenya. That's the only thing. Has nothing to do with tribe, has nothing to do with Kenya. It's just a cult that has been made to feel that they know the country better. They are on top of everything. And they don't want to understand where Kenya has come from, is, and is going. It's a cult. And that is what I'm going to call them today, Julia. And I hope they can change their minds and actually be patriotic about our country. But as I close, I want to tell that cult and also the people that really are patriotic to our country that a day will come that you will sit down and love your country and not be a cult. Hiyo kifua itaisha one day, and you will realize where we are, how we are, and how you're blessed. God bless Kenya. God bless our country, and let us also preserve that country, because one day it will be great, and these days will be remembered. Thank you that we spoke about our country. Thank you, Julia, so much for giving us this opportunity.
Asante, Ndeto. Mzalendo, your closing remarks?
Yeah, I think today we had a very, very heated debate. I think we talked about things that really affect Kenyans, things that we should see happening in our country. It is also important to correct the government, but let us correct the government positively and have solutions to whatever that is happening in our country. Just like Kenyan with love has said, the cultish following in our country is what is bringing our politics down. So we have this cultish following of political leaders. I mean, if they don't have substance, let us look beyond the Railas, beyond the Kalonzos, beyond the Uhurus. We still have people who are nostalgic about Uhuru Kenyatta. He's gone. You know, once you leave the presidency, the cameras are switched off. You are not there. There's nothing that belongs to you. Wewe enda bye bye, story yako imeisha. Now all the cameras are on William Samoei Ruto. Let us look at the positives and let us criticize the negatives happening in his government. That way we'll have a good country. And I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the independent candidate who was just won in game, where that is Baba's stronghold. He beat the ODM candidate, that is Azimio candidate today. Congratulations for that victory. It is very, very important. It is a big, big, big statement. As much as you think that there are people who who have no following, There are people who don't believe in Baba's journey. There are people who are independent in their thought. There are people who look at the brighter future of this country and beyond the political figures that we have. Thank you very much, Julia, and I hope that one day you will talk of a Kenyan who is probably in Harvard or in Boston or is in KU, who can be a good president for the Republic of Kenya, who will bring the country together and be one loving, independent-minded nation. And we grow as a community, not looking at each other in the tribal lens that wewe ni Mkikuyu, wewe ni Mkalenjin, wewe ni Mkamba, but sisi tuwe wa Kenya. Unaona, kama mwanzilishi wa nchi ya Tanzania Julius Nyerere said, the problem with Kenya ni ukabila. Again, this Magufuli also said the same thing. The problem with our country is tribalism. When we come to these forums, we see our tribal inclinations. I am glad, Mise, we come from Nyanza. People are just wondering, Wajaluo ni wale walipotea wapi? No, we are independent in our thought. We know the process. We know the democracy that is internal. We know the problem that is affecting our people. We know that what you guys are being fed with is just politics. We know what is happening huko kwa ground. So kuliona tukiongea hivi, we know what we are saying. Kuja tutakuonyesha pale tulienda mbaya and why we lost these elections. Thank you.
Asante Mzalendo, tunashukuru. Son PK.
Thank you, Julia. Where do I begin? I'll begin by saying our country has a huge problem. And I keep on saying this, 60 years down the line, we are not able to solve our problem. The whole of this week, I've been really trying to revise my insight on a country called Botswana. And I would recommend anybody to try and read and read a lot of things about it. I think there is a lot that has gone on in Botswana, but it has not been brought into light because it is, I think, African nature not to kind of sieve, lessons learned. And that's why we will never catch up with Muzungu. Whatever we want to do, you can get your PhDs and whatever, you can't catch up with them. Even imagine a PhD Mwafrika hawezi compare na a guy who has first degree kutoka when it comes to initiatives and thinking and vouching for what is right. They shout even if anything is hata iko of high quality, but they hype. Mwafrika, we don't know how to hype what is good for us. I have examples. Look at M-Pesa. Does anybody ever hata anasikianga hiyo maneno ni ya Kenya, ni ya watoto wetu wa Kenya? No, because we have this culture of being naive. Somebody saying Stone Bigger is radical. That's because you are calling it as it is. We are misusing English vocabulary. That's why you cannot acknowledge and appreciate M-Pesa is Kenyan. Imechukuliwa, sasa inaitwa sijui nini. Kabisa. And we are not there to shout about this. We are not proud of what is good for us. That's why I'm recommending, if you try and read, just when you are free, Wangalie Botswana, that is one of the very, very shining country. But nobody talks about it. But they are doing wonders. Wako mbali mno. Wako yani mbele. Ukiuliza hao watu walipata independence after sisi 1966, tulikuwa 63. Tulipotelea wapi? It is because we are cowards, we are conmen, we buy these narratives of liars. you know, when a problem is here, we want to attach it to Stone PK. We don't look at it as a community problem, a problem that is dragging the entire area or section behind. Tunafikiria huyo ni Stone PK. Oh, hii ni maneno ya Raila. Hii ni my friend, tuko 50 million. Okay? So that's why I keep on saying, whether we bring somebody from Harvard, as our brother Mzalendo is saying, or let the most genius human Kenyan, awe amesomea chini ya muti, juu ya muti, akuje na asimame na tupige kura tukose kuzihesabu 1 + 1 + 2 + 3 is hiyo addition tupotee. You will blame tribalism, you will blame everything else. You will blame Venezuela, you blame kila kitu. But the thing is, we are not able to do justice to ourselves. Period. Right now, Akina Mzalendo na Akina Mize are saying they are talking about the legitimacy of Ruto and all that. Fine. Maybe you won, maybe you didn't win. But there should be a lot of, kind of, proof as to whether this has happened. Why did it even go up to Supreme Court, if at all it was okay? I mean, we should be able to try and adopt means that will be able to create that which we will see as justice. Kitu ambaye watu watasema, mbona ile siku ya Kibaki aliingia mara ya kwanza watu walikubali, even if there were small flaws, because we can't be 100% right. Ilikuwa kidogo. Why? That is the only one that Kenyans believe. At least they tried to vote, and we went close to what we could have, called like a genuine election. So it doesn't mean that Kenyans are mad. Wengine wakisema wameibiwa kura. Okay? So for me, as I conclude, I would rather we try and pray to God, if at all God will ever help Kenya, that we can decide not to hold elections. We can decide Ruto akae tu for as long as he's there. Yeah. Then we stop talking, we let him stay, and then we go to wherever we are being taken, because there is no election that will ever go right. That you can take to the bank. So badala ya kunini tukae tuseme Kenya, we have adopted a new method, and we stop pretending we have democracy. In fact, the worst we did is to bring a constitution that is too good, and it does not fit Kenyan. I say Kenyan 90+% we are thieves, we are conmen, we are liars, because we believe in them, we adore them. That I gave an example of where we praise somebody coming with a V8 and is a civil servant who has only worked for 3 years, and he's spinning a V8. He has a house in Runda, and you go there clapping, saying he's working hard, and he has stolen from you people. There's no way. Somebody earning 60,000 in 5 years and a new V8 6, 7, 8 million. Whatever business anafanya, unasikia ni business. So we adore thieves. And that is my why I, people think like I'm radical, because I call it as it is. Ni wezi tu. Saa hii nimekupa example what they are doing at Nyayo House. Wizi. And another guy ameenda ametoa 10,000. And I quarreled him so much. Akapewa hiyo passport in 4 hours. Can you imagine? Yeah? Hata alinitumia hapa ati nimeipata. Kwa nini wewe huko sijui UDA was up? It is painful. It is painful, and it is sad when we support such things here and pretend that we are democracy, we should let things go and all that. So as long as we keep on covering that rot and trying to perfume it and all that, we will not. 6 years down the line, honestly, and we are still raving and breathing in the same pain, and you want us to sit here and clap for Dr. Arap Samoei Ruto as Pamise? Pole sana. Wakenya, mtahitaji maombi mingi sana. Thank you very much, guys. Good to see you. Mzalendo, Kenya with love, Mise and Julia. Na wale wa Kenya wote wako upande ule mwingine, asanteni sana for being with us. Thanks.
Asante gentlemen, na wale wako pande ule mwingine, siji pande gani Stone PK. Unajua pande ule mwingine ni mwingine. Lakini wenye kwa comment section, Mary Awari, Chaka, Maureen, Daka, hi Maureen, I see you. Bachu Mohammed, Dush, Margaret, Peter Deuri, Tony Maina, Joe Dinda, Wascam, Father Danny Dairas, and many others. Tunawasalimia, tunawashukuru. I won't add anything. Thank you so much, members of the panel, for everything we have discussed. Whatever we have argued about, all of us want the best for our country, Kenya. So we want to meet tomorrow again, same time, same place. Nashukuru sana na omba muwe na usiku mwema, na wenye wanaamka, sijui kama mzalendo wewe ni kuamka umeamka ama ni kulala unaenda kulala. Are you going to sleep or are you waking up? Because some of us
right now it's 1 a.m. I'm just about to retire.
Okay, I think most of us here is in the night. Hata mi say we're in the same time with you. I think sijui matoko wako ni saa ngapi?
Bato yuko saa 6.
Mi niko 12. Niko 12. Kwanza
Iko nyuma saa moja.
nimechelewa.
Stone
Mimi niko
PK.
sawa na mzalendo ni 1:12.
Okay, we are all 1:12.
Stone PK uko wapi bana?
Niko maskani nitakwambia.
Wachana Stone PK hawezi akatoka.
Hiyo ni classified information.
Wachana Stone PK, the moment it becomes
you are behaving like a Kenyan now. Unaona? Umeanza tu.
Sitini wa Kenya bwana.
Anasema hiyo ni classified information. Sasa tukutane kesho. Misa unatuletea speaker lini?
Actually to be Joyce has not gotten back to me, so I reached out, so I've not gotten she hasn't responded, so I think it's her availability, the timing, you know, she's a nurse, because probably she's finding some time. Whenever she's ready, she will let us know.
Okay, fine. I think with time tutatafuta mtu. Naona people wamepata hiyo interest. If you don't want to stay in Kenya, we'll be talking with Misa and the others how we can get you out. Lakini sio lazima kila mtu ahame Kenya ama Stone PK. East West, home is best.
Home is best.
Na tukigawana mashamba, mimi nimesema nigawiwe Pwani. Nipelekwe Pwani. Ninyi wengine mchague penye mnapelekwa.
Julia, I have about 400 acres in Pwani, so don't worry. 100 can be yours.
We'll share.
Yeah, we will share. Na hiyo si ati ni UDA imetupatia. Usianze kusema ati
Mlinyakua na nani na Ruto? Ile yanyi mlinyakua na Ruto.